Yo, what's going on guys? Jared here. And today we are going to be talking about Mitsurugi. I am going to be talking about this in a very broad sense, including the new cards that have just been announced. And I have to say, I am so excited for these cards, but I really wanted to give like a full breakdown on these cards, because a lot of you are new coming into Mitsurugi, that this is just going to be finally meta impactful. This is definitely going to be meta impactful in my opinion. I do not see how this is not meta impactful. So if you're new here, welcome, please subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. But let's go ahead and just talk about all the cards. So I have been playing this deck since the release of it in the previous set. With the original 7 cards, I think that this deck was very strong. Reminded me a lot of, I don't even know, maybe something comparison of Branded, where you resolve the spell and you are so ahead it was almost impossible to lose. These cards were very powerful and they were very slept on. Most people were only using them as an engine that was specifically for either Ryzeo would be the main meta contender, or I was using them in things like Azamina and Drytron, where you are able to take advantage of the tribute effects more, to be able to get more access and consistency, to be able to get to the ritual spell, to get to that point where you just kind of auto win once the ritual spell resolves. Now, along with the new cards, we are able to use one card combos finally, and there was a lot of new additions to this deck because of how these cards are worded. So, without further ado, we're going to go ahead and go through all of the cards very briefly, and then go over why I think they are so good. And at the very end, I'm going to show you guys just a little sample deck list for you to try out. This is going to be a pure version just for today, but keep in mind there are other versions, and I'm going to link a spreadsheet down below from Stevie Blunder, who made it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Obviously, Mitsurugi being a ritual archetype, it has ritual monsters, and here there are 3 of them. We have the Murakumo, the Mitama, and the Habakiri. I'm going to try to pronounce these as best as I can as I go. They all have the same last effect, where if they are attributed, you can search any Mitsurugi card, and then you can special summon them back. Keep in mind they have to be summoned properly to do the special summoning part. Then they all have different first effects. So, the Mitama, every time your opponent special summons, you can special summon any reptile back from your graveyard. For the Murakumo, and when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can, at resolution, make them discard a card, or that effect is negated. And then if it is special summoned, you can Raigeki their field. And then lastly, the new Habaneri is able to reduce the attack of all monsters your opponent controls by 800. And the main effect is once per duel, you can reveal it in the hand, special summon 1 Mitsurugi from the deck, and then tribute 1 monster you control. So this allows you to be able to get into some nice combos. Now, these ritual monsters also have little baby versions of themselves, so now we are going to go through them very quickly. We have Saji, we have Kusanagi, and we have Armasa. So, Saji, on normal or special or tribute, you are able to search for a Mitsurugi spell or trap. Kusanagi, on normal, special, or tribute, you are able to add a Mitsurugi from graveyard to hand. And Armasada, on normal, special, or tribute, you can add a Mitsurugi monster from your deck to your hand. All 3 of these also have the bonus effect of when another reptile you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you contribute it so that that monster is protected, or those monsters are protected. This is crazy good. Next up, we have the ritual spell cards, which we have 2 of them. We have Mitsurugi Ritual, which can either ritual summon from the hand by tributing from the deck, or it can ritual summon from the deck by tributing from the hand or field. Just something to keep in mind, you can only use each of those once per turn. And then the other ritual spell we have is Mitsurugi Mirror. This allows you to ritual summon from the hand or graveyard by tributing from the hand or field. Also, it mentions all 3 of the ritual monsters in the second effects text, so you're able to search this with something by pre-preparation of rites. And if any of the ritual monsters are tributed while it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle it back into the deck, so it is always live for the pre-preparation of rites. Mitsurugi also has 2 quick play spell cards, Magtama and Prayers. Magtama, during the main phase, you are able to tribute a reptile to be able to destroy a face-up card on the field, or you are able to ritual summon a Mitsurugi from your hand by tributing monsters you control. Then we have Prayers. This is one of the best cards in the deck in my opinion. When it's activated, you can tribute a reptile monster. This allows you to use both of the effects, the following effects. Add a Mitsurugi monster from deck to hand, or take 800 damage. Then you can special summon a Mitsurugi monster from your hand or graveyard. So both of these effects can be resolved if you tributed a monster. If you did not tribute a monster, you can resolve one of these effects. Next up, we have Mitsurugi Great Purification. This allows you to attribute a level 5 or higher reptile monster to negate the effect of a card and destroy it, or when it's in the graveyard, you can banish it and target a reptile in your graveyard to special it and then tribute a different monster you control, but you can only use 1 effect per turn. Those are honestly all of the main cards that I wanted to go over, but the other 3 cards I do not think are really that good, but I will show them to you anyway, just so you kind of know what they are if you want them as an option. The one that I think has the most potential is Miko. It's a level 8 monster that you're able to special summon by tributing a reptile from your hand and a monster your opponent controls. It does lock you into reptiles, but it's not a big deal in this deck. And then if it's tributed, you can discard a card and add it back to your hand. Next up, we have a spell card. This is a continuous spell card. Your opponent cannot target Mitsurugi ritual monsters you control with effects that are special summoned from the extra deck. And then you can target 4 Mitsurugi cards in your graveyard to be a mini pot of avarice and shuffle them back into the deck, but you do not draw. But you can make your opponent tribute 1 monster they control. Lastly, we have a gimmicky Mitsurugi trap card. If you have all 3 ritual monsters on your field, you can tribute them to make your opponent banish 8 cards from their hand, extra deck, field, and or graveyard. This card is not good. Now, from this point of the video, I really didn't know where to go. This is where my lack of video making and editing really is be working against me. I have a lot of ideas and a lot of thoughts in my head, and I'm not really sure how to portray them in an artistic way where I can kind of have you guys understand where I'm coming from a bit. So if I ramble in this next section, I'm sorry. It is just kind of how my brain has been working for the last couple months, been playing this deck, and I kind of want to give you an understanding of why I think this deck is so good. Especially into a lot of different matchups, right? Matchups and specific card interactions. I think that's where this deck really, really shines. Obviously, last format with only the first wave of support, we were in a Ryzeal and Malice dominated format, so we had a lot of different hand traps that were being used to be able to stop those decks. Things like Veiler, Ash, Imperm, a lot of Molcharmies are being used, and now just recently Droll Lockbird is seeing a lot more play as well. The important thing here is that a lot of those cards do not impact Mitsurugi very well. The simple combo of Mitsurugi Ritual and Ame of the Mitsurugi have a absolutely disgusting combo that essentially can play around all of those cards, including the Molcharmies. The fact that those cards really don't affect you too much, I find it kind of crazy with the end board that you were able to put up. The fact that you were able to give your opponent only 1, maybe 2 draws if you are like making an IP Masquerena is insane. That is crazy to me, and I will never get over it of how easily I was able to play through the things like that. Also, the amount of times I've seen people just blow imperms on the most useless stuff is crazy. The amount of times people have impermed a Futsu when I have prayers and traps set is crazy, and I just look at them and say, yeah, that's just another card calling for Ame. It's ridiculous. These cards do nothing against this deck. There's nothing good to hit them on your own turn when you are comboing, and they pair up so well in the non-engine ways of the format. Especially with now that Fiendsmith is not hit, a lot of decks are using, well, obviously light monsters. Because light monsters are being played, Dominus Impulse is not being played currently like Broken Malice format. Dominus Impulse will see play definitely when that is going around, but as of right now, Dominus Impulse is not seeing play because of all the Fiendsmith and Ryzeal running around. This was a huge benefit to the Ryzeal decks, or not Ryzeal, the Mitsurugi decks that I've been playing, because the biggest counter, in my opinion, to Mitsurugi is Dominus Impulse. Being able to impulse a Mitsurugi ritual really hurts. In the current metagame, that really, really hurts. You really need to get those Mitsurugi ritual to resolve. And the fact that you can't Ash Blossom when you're summoning from hand is ridiculous, because once you do it, it's too late. The Ash Blossom doesn't do anything to the combo anymore, and it is so broken when you go activate ritual. For the past format, I have been able to activate Mitsurugi ritual, say summon from hand, and confidently know that my opponent is not going to interact with it, and because they're not going to interact with it, it's already too late for them. I already won the game, because when that resolves, you are dodging Veiler, Imperm, Ash Blossom, Nibiru, it doesn't matter. And even if they're drolling me at the end of it, I'm still ending on a board that they are probably not going to break. It is, and not even not going to break, they have to kill me, because I'm still going to end on Futsu, Ame, double follow-up. It's crazy. They have to kill me, or else I'm killing them on the crackback. So again, these are just some of the things that I wanted to mention of why I think this deck is so good, and that's not even including the things you can combine with them. I am enjoying the Drytron variant way more than I was expecting. Shout out to my brother and Malcolm for really putting in the work for this deck. It is crazy how good this variant is, because you were able to put so much pressure and add consistency with the Drytron cards. The fact that you were able to make these Link monsters or threaten Zeus so early on. Remember Zeus? Not a lot of people are using him right now, but he is still a broken card and everyone forgets about it. I have seen that card win so many games off his own back just because he deals with an entire board, and then you just slap Ritual down. Even if they're trying to throw a million interactions at the Zeus, you just slap Ritual down, and guess what? You're still Raigekiing them and clearing the board and getting follow-up. It's absolutely crazy how good these strategies are. And I'm not even including just the Drytron one too, the Azamina one as well. Because if you summon Diabellstar or Resolve Deception, those are trading with hand traps. They have to respect them. because you're going to make a Sylvia, and Sylvia is going to just negate the hand trap if they don't use it regardless. So these cards all trade very well with sub-synergies with Mitsurugi. Now Mitsurugi finally has enough to stand on its own, but it can still be played with these other engines, including Ryziel, of course, right? We could still go Ryziel, Feral Imps, Cross, and all of that stuff. But in my opinion, I was actually really never a fan of the Ryziel variant. Granted, I know it's very good. It's just adding the extra cross brick, and sometimes people play Node. It just wasn't for me. I always wanted my normal summon to be on the level 4s if I drew them. I don't like playing a game where I have like my preferred normal summons and then I have bad normal summons, and then if I draw a 1, the other one's a brick. That's not how my deck building logic works. I would much rather have it where I just have cards that if I draw them, I can normal summon them. If I don't draw them, I can just play my game normally and I'm still happy, and then I have a bonus normal summon for something that can use as maybe Link material or Synchro material or Exceed material. That's how I like to build my decks, but that's just, again, me personally. My point is, this deck lines up very well into everything in the format, especially now that Shifter is at 1, but even when Shifter was at 3, Mitsurugi doesn't care. It never cared about Shifter. It's ridiculous how strong it was. If I have been Shiftered so many times, and it's like, yeah, I can't use my Simple Spoils package, yes, I can't use my Drytrons, but if I have Ritual or a way to get to Ritual and resolve it, the Mitsurugi cards don't care. The Rituals can still be special summoned from their Banish Zone. All of them still trigger. The only thing that doesn't work is Futsu special summoning back. But they're already down a card because of Shifter, and you're already playing through the other cards like butter. And if you're playing a Shifter deck besides Malice, it's probably just not a great deck regardless. And current Malice, before Alliance Insight, is not that great under Shifter. You kind of are way more desperate in my opinion, and like you're way more fragile in my opinion. Whereas post-Alliance Insight, that changes, but now Shifter's at 1. That's a whole nother argument. My point is that this deck was really, really good at every piece of non-engine it felt like. Now, this could change going into Alliance Insight format. We're going to see a change in non-engine, of course. I do not think Metaltronus is going to be played as much anymore. That's just my opinion. That card's going to get cut, but it also had a great matchup into that card. When your opponent is revealing Metaltronuses and you're looking at Ame Futsu, there is no target for those cards in Ryziel and Malice decks. It was great. Yeah, I'm just pointing out that this deck had a very good matchup into the non-engine, and if this deck is too meta now, the non-engine will change, so you will see things like D-Barrier, more than likely, probably Dominus Impulse in both Mitsurugi and in Malice, and then that would obviously hurt the Mitsurugi deck as a whole. But yeah, these are all just things that you have to consider, right, when you're playing a deck and everything like that. So this might not still be the best choice after Alliance Insight, just because of those reasons, because the format's changing, and we'll see how it develops. But I'm just saying, as of right now, and previously, before the set has come out, this deck has fared very well versus the non-engine of the format. But yeah, moving forward, post-Alliance Insight, getting these one-card combos is very big. Because if Ritual 1 still resolves, the end board is still ridiculous. While it doesn't look crazy, most of the time you're putting on your opponent better be able to OTK me, or I'm going to OTK you the next turn. But the fragility of this deck from things like Impulse are now kind of compensated with things like Mitsurugi Mirror being able to have multiple forms of ways to Ritual summon, because before you could only summon 2, and they were both with Ritual, and if one got stopped, you were not getting Ame and Futsu. Now you have up to 4 because of the Quick Play spell and the new Ritual spell, and that adds a lot more value than a lot of people, I think, are giving it credit for. And that's not even including, obvious one-card combo that everyone's talking about. But that is just like some of the little things that I think a lot of people are missing that really add a lot to the deck in the long run. So if that was enough of a rant for you, that was pretty much my rant about Mitsurugi. I really didn't know how to edit these thoughts, how to put them in gameplay, maybe in like a replay or something. I really just don't know how to do it, so I just felt like I can get my information out there and just kind of explain to you where I've been for the past like month or two of playing this deck and why I think it's so good and so fun and why I was doing very well, and me and my brother and our friend are all doing great on Dueling Book with it. It's just cooking people and it's amazing, and it's all for these reasons of like there's so many bad cards into it. So overall, I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know down below what you think about Mitsurugi, because this has been one of the most fun TCG archetypes that we've had in a long time. And I think a lot of people didn't really have it on their map when I think they should have. And people are now catching up to it of how strong it is. And it's ridiculous how strong it is, to say the least, at least right now. Now I have to apologize to you for that rant. Again, this is not me. I just don't know how to creatively edit these videos to put them in a transparent way for you to competently understand them, or make them more watchable or listenable or whatever. This is just my lack of experience. If you have any suggestions down below of how to fix this, I would absolutely love to hear it. I'm more than down to learn. But yeah, this is kind of a fault of my own, and I am willing to just admit that. I was even asking my friend yesterday about, like, I have all these thoughts about Mitsurugi, and I just don't know how to put them into an artistic format, into a video where it's consumable at a reasonable level. And I literally said, the only thing I know what to do is just rant. I love talking about Yu-Gi-Oh, but doing it in a way that's consumable is just so difficult to me, especially because my mind will go a mile a minute from card to card to interaction. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for me. I really hope you guys enjoy. Let me know down below what you think about Mitsurugi. I would really appreciate it. And let me know how you would want me to kind of maybe change the format for something like this where I'm talking, because I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of ideas, and I have especially a lot of experience, and I want to be able to give it to you guys in a reasonable fashion where it's digestible, that isn't just kind of me ranting at you, but like it's almost, I feels like I should have like a podcast or something where I could just talk. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed. Please subscribe if you did, and please leave suggestions down below. Please check out my link tree. I have a lot of stuff on there that I think is really fun. My Discord affiliate links, definitely things that help out the channel. All of that stuff is really important, and I would really appreciate it. So again, I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.